since they need to go away at 6:30,
Okay.
they want to have information on what you think about it. So if they interrupt you, don't worry. Okay? It's part of it.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Oh, can I use the...
I've heard that you learn
Okay, guys. Nate? We start. Nate? We're going to do it together. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming over here. And I'm so excited because this is one of the presentation of Inpulse and Harvest. So I will give a little bit overview of what we are doing and what we are doing with Harvest also. And then we're gonna have the agenda is gonna have a little bit of presentation of an MIT team that is here, Rami and his team, and also a presentation from the team that we have been developing the past 3 weeks. Inpulse is a company. I'm gonna be really quick on this because we are a little late on the agenda. Inpulse is a company that is being formed 1 year ago, and it's a startup. And we are actually doing 2 things. And one is working with international organizations, NGOs, and academia, some knowledge center in academia. And the other things that we are doing is providing leadership and entrepreneurship programs for international students initially, but then we understand that also national people will be interested in doing this because it's more about entrepreneurship and global leadership. Who we are a team of people that come a little bit from all over the world. We have from Korea, from China, I'm from Italy personally. Then we have people from India, and my business partner is now in Washington DC. Unfortunately, couldn't join because he's working at IMF and World Bank. If somebody has any question about this, please feel free. So like I said, we do these 2 things. We are a group of international people, and we're trying to foster and bring leadership concept and mindset to an international community that we are forming. What is actually is our goal? Our goal looks a little complex in these slides, but in reality it's really simple, is how to put together all this energy, like private sector, university, example of international organization like the World Bank, and public sector. So sometimes we are talking with government, especially in the emerging countries, in order to have a shared place where we can exchange knowledge. And that's actually not a mission that we invented, but a lot of organizations are doing the same. The World Bank, IMF, and organizations in Washington DC, including some part of the White House, are investing in working on international development and knowledge exchange. Now, the way we are going to do it, is like I said before, we're actually working on a platform because we want to connect people around the world, and obviously having an internet platform would allow us to connect with all the people that cannot be here right in this moment. And we organize teams. So we try to organize the social entrepreneurs, people that really want to change the world, and put them together in this. Now we started, a few months ago, we started collaborating with Harvest. We have collaborated before with other school, but now we're collaborating with Harvest. And that is an English as a second language institution, Harvest Institute. And please.
Yeah, the Harvest Institute. We are a small boutique English school, so we're a little bit different than some of the other schools you've heard of, like EF and Kaplan, just because we are small, we're a single school, we have our own values. So one of the things that we were so attracted to when I first met Lucio was that we want to offer more to our students. A lot of the students have been coming here as an ESL student and having no way to connect with everything that we have in Boston that we have to offer. You know, for example, all the programs, all the initiatives going on at MIT, Harvard, not to mention every other university. All of the students living in Boston as ESL students, we don't want anyone to feel like they're an ESL student and they're not a regular student, because you are. So for us to be able to offer this and to be able to have our students who come here for just a short period of time say, I learned English, I built a network, I gained leadership skills, you know, that's really the best advertising we can have for our company is because, you know, people are really going to get something out of it. And that's why I was so happy to meet with each other.
And the work together with them produced actually a first team of a first group that we put together, and we put together a team with Tom, Ryoko, and Jeff. That are our first group that we put together to run this experiment of working together on how we can boost language skills at the same time produce something that can impact the world. So now I know that in the agenda we are a little short on time, so I will also introduce Kwame and his team that actually are working on a really interesting project. And I will not spend any words on this because Kwame is going to introduce that. I will just say that one thing that I don't know if Kwame is going to say, that Kwame was a major in aerospace engineering, and then he decided to switch completely and say, no, I need to do something that's really connected to international development and impact the world. And that was one of the things that touched my heart. And said, well, we need to work. And so, Moringa Connect.
Good evening, everyone. So, as Lucio mentioned, we're in Connect, and I have two of my amazing partners, Emily Cunningham, Daipan Lee, and Bonnie Wong's our other teammate who isn't here today, and I'm Kwame Williams. And really, our heart is providing low-cost seed processing technologies to help harness this amazing plant called moringa. I actually have a bag of moringa seeds in the back, right where Samuel is, next to that laptop, if he wants to yep, that Ziploc bag.
Wow.
So maybe we can pass it around and people can just see what the seeds look like. That's a sort of the perfect segue to this. So this slide is just sort of saying what is moringa, because not everyone is necessarily familiar with this plant. It's grown in every single one of those green regions you see on the map in the top left. So that's the tropics and subtropics around the world. And particularly the seed of this plant is the most popular portion. It contains about 37% of its weight is oil, and that oil is used for cooking, in cosmetics, and skincare products, in biodiesel and machine lubrication. And the remains, after removing that oil from the seed kit, is actually a great feed for animals and a natural flocculant. So it actually is used in water purification and gathering dirt particles out of water. Now, having said that, we have the current problem that exists in the world today. We have a surplus of seeds being grown by farmers in the tropics around the world. But these farmers are living on less than $3 a day and lack access to affordable technologies. You have commercial scale devices that cost about $800 to $4,000. And you have the market requiring, sort of creating this preference that we want cold pressed moringa seeds. We want seeds that where they have been crushed and the oil has been extracted from them without any heat input. So this discards a lot of the other existing technologies out there. And you have now on the right sort of this great demand for the oil. I have here an image of Body Shop, which launched an entire line of moringa products, cosmetic and skincare, and as well this sort of new but booming industry of moringa applications in biofuel and biodiesel production. So the issue then becomes, how can we embrace these two worlds? High demand of oil, and as well this surplus of seeds, but lack of technology. And that's where Moringa Connect comes in. We're bringing these two worlds together, connecting these two worlds together. And before I sort of go into our specific technologies, I also like to paint the picture of what exists out there beyond the commercial scale. So here you see one of our partners in Ghana, our pilot country, shelling moringa seeds. So the seeds that you're seeing in your hands, this is what they do. They're taking a stone, cracking the shells open, then putting it in a basin of some sort, and then winnowing the seeds by hand. So this is laborious, labor-intensive, tedious, and as you can see, there's a lot of crop loss. And from here, sort of we come into the mix with our technology. So this is our Moringa Connect sheller. And that guy is some guy in Ghana, you know. And the way it works is we've developed this perforated drum and some holes on the inside of the drum that allow the seeds to be cracked and winnowed as the drum is is being used. So for time's sake, I just sort of move the video a little bit ahead so that you can see. So as the user turns, hand cranks his drum, it begins to shell the seeds. This is sort of a close-up of what's happening inside of the drum. And then I'll show you, the video goes into a portion where one of our farmers that we're working with and his partners are using the device to shell the seeds. You can see the flakes that are sort of flying out is the skin or the shell of the moringa seed. Extremely easy to use. You can sit down and use it. And the current throughput is about 12 kilograms of seed per hour is what this device can do. We believe it can do more, but we just haven't tested it beyond that capacity. So yeah, this is only after 6 minutes of use, you can see how much of the shell has come off the seeds.
I have a question.
Yeah.
This machine can be built in place. So can you find the material to build this machine in place?
Everything was made locally, fabricated locally, and for about $20. The cost is probably going to increase just a little bit in light of other design changes we're making to improve the performance. And then the second device that we're working with is an oil press. And these images are showing existing oil presses that are geared towards small-scale production, which is where we are sort of marketing ourselves and planting ourselves. But the issue is that they're way too expensive, way too labor-intensive. And so what we did is, this is a proof of concept of our oil press, but basically it's taking a hydraulic jack and using that to press the oil out of the seeds. The seeds are in that cylinder you see there. It's actually not our logo, to say, but the ultimate aim is that we are providing these two technologies to farmers on the ground. But beyond just individual farmers, we also want to target cooperative farmers, NGOs, groups like the Peace Corps that have groups of farmers under them, or institutes like one of our partners on the ground, our main partner called the Ghana Permaculture Institute, that has 7,500 farmers in its influence. So that's sort of the aim on the technology side of who our customers are. And then the oil, the byproduct of this processing, we're aiming to push domestically in Ghana to local cosmetic stores, restaurants, and as well there are international buyers like Lush, like Body Shop, and perhaps L'Oreal and other cosmetic companies of that sort, and then pushing the use of the oil in the biofuel space. So multinational oil companies, restaurants, health food stores. And this slide and the information is communicated is evolving as we learn more about moringa, as we learn more about connections and partnerships, and perhaps some of the connections we're making here might involve who we think our customers are. But over the next few years, our aim is to really take a small group of the farmers we're connected to, 500 for now, and equip them with the technology to allow them to join in this processing, realize the value that they could get from processing oil, and then secure buyers for this, so we prove the whole value chain of the technology and as well of the moringa oil. And then from there, over the next few years, build that capacity up, scale to serve the 7,500 farmers we're connected to, target the 100,000 moringa farmers in Ghana as a whole, and then start setting up pilots in other countries. And see how not only can we see how we can not only participate in the production of the technology and the sale of the technologies, but also start aggregating oil and develop our own brand and say, okay, how can we now sell this to Lush, L'Oreal, Body Shop, etc. So having said all this, I'm open for questions. So are my fellow partners, Emily and Daikan. First question.
A couple questions.
Questions.
So first one that comes to mind, compared to other seed oils, like say sunflower oil, or even like flax oil, in terms of the percentage of oil that you get out, I noticed that was almost 50% you could get out of it. So how does that compare against sunflower oil, for example, or something like that?
So,
if you don't know the answer,
I don't know the percent oil content in all of those seeds. I will say that the trick with moringa is the fact that cold pressing it becomes an extreme challenge, and that's a sort of design issue that we've targeted and focused and solved, and are improving our design
Okay.
So things like sunflower seeds exist in oil press out, they can do that with ease.
Right.
But when it comes to the issue of cold pressing moringa, that's where the issue comes in.
And then in terms of this high heat versus low heat cooking, what is it good for?
So moringa is an alternative to palm and olive oil in terms of cooking oils.
Okay, so it is a high heat oil.
It is a high heat oil.
Okay.
It's just that we ideally to sell it so that you keep all the crucial fatty acids, all the
you want to
crucial
cold
proteins.
press.
Exactly. You want to cold press it. So that the end user, the person enjoying the delicious meal, gets that goodness. Yeah, and I think one thing that I have failed to mention is why moringa oil is so wonderful. Retail value is at about $150 per liter. So that's significantly higher than a lot of other oils out there, even argan oil, which is sort of the liquid gold of current oils. And so it means that there's a tremendous impact from the farmer to the aggregator to the exporter to the retailer here in the US or in Europe. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question, but then I want to keep it short because
Yes.
I know these guys need to go away at 6:30. I want really to see the other presentation too before.
Yes,
and
I'd love to do that.
The only question is just really quick: how this project started? When does it start and why? Why the moringa seed?
Okay, where does the moringa seed come
Sub-Himalayan region of India is home of moringa. How it started. So Emily and I traveled to Ghana in January and working with D-Lab at MIT. And we sort of discovered the project there. There's been a lot of work that had been done on different devices to help tackle the issues that I've mentioned. And we jumped right in, helped with improving those devices, came back saying, hey, we love this plant, we love the impact that it can have, how can we continue that throughout? And that's how Brain Connect was birthed. And Daipan and Bonnie jumping in to say, hey, we're bringing some new life, some new energy, skill sets, and let's really make this happen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So now I'm going to present, introduce a little bit, Jeff, we have been working really hard to put together the skill and the goals of all of us, and especially just like you on the introduction, Ryoko was interested in marketing and is about to work in cosmetic companies. Tom is working at corporate social responsibility environment and is more from the business side. And Jeff also was studying about business in China and in US too, even if his stream is more about design and photography. So anyway, we put together these things together, but this is all their work. I really just help them out, or understanding how they can customize their goals and their skills in one idea, and they come out with this. And so I'm so amazed to present this. You're the bridge.
We believe that being beauty makes the world better. There's a problem. It is not easy for customers to know which product is better for their work. Let me give you an example. If I go to the shop to buy this cosmetic, I don't care about this product will good for the work. I just like this design and this like this color, so I just buy this. So I don't care about this is good for the world. And also, the one more problem, cosmetic companies don't pay enough attention to the social impact for the products. So solution are these. We're building a platform to bring awareness to customers about responsible products. And we impact cosmetic company with a new corporate social responsibility model. So Tom will explain about our platform and model.
Beautiful. So there's obviously two big players in the market. One is customers and one is companies. And we provide for platform between customers and companies, these two companies. So and in this platform we provide three key components. One is product information itself, and the other is social responsibility rating. And the other thing is the ranking from customers. So I will explain detail about this rating in the next slide. So we go forward. So customer currently, as she said, doesn't know what's the impact of the product to the society. So we instead when we have customers or the third party, we provide this information, and customer can pick up any product based on this quality information and the social rating, and then they may give the ranking of product. And the reason why we choose cosmetics product is that women provide a lot of time and money in cosmetics products. So they like doing ranking and share this information on which product is good or which product is bad. So we provide this information, and then the more likely outcome is that a cosmetics product with both high quality and high social impact would get the highest ranking. Of course, there's a room for products with high quality or without any social responsibility rating would get high ranking as well. But the product with both aspects would get the highest rating. So, and once companies understand the impact of this rating to the sales, they would invest more money to develop new green or responsible products. And this positive spiral continues. That's our business strategy. And actual looks of the platform look like this. We provide a picture and some information about information on the product, and then make the social impact rating. Actually, social impact has many aspects, as you know. So one example is that, for example, if a product is produced in Africa by 50%, we can say we help a local community to get to develop economies, local economy. Or otherwise, we can say the cosmetics company abandoned animal testing. So we are still thinking about this, but we think that we measure one specific program to develop common measurement of the social impact. And then customer will get finally the quality rating. So this is our platform. And our ultimate goal is to bring business all around the world. As you know, this is the poverty map of the world. So South America, Africa, or South Asia has huge poverty now, and especially Africa. On the other hand, there's a huge economic gap in the world. This is the GDP map aligned with the size of the area of the country. So United States has the highest GDP, also Japan has high, EU has high, but Africa is very small. And the color of country indicates the growth rate. So obviously China, as you know, has the highest growing potential, market potential. So then maybe we can connect this African poverty and the economic significance of China. But how we can do it? We believe that our platform suggests solutions. So if we provide this platform in China, many women in China would start responsible consumption. And then company will realize they invest money to this responsible production of product. And since we have 2 Japanese in our team, we suggest that if a company gets ingredients in Africa and then produce product in Japan with high quality manufacturing process, the product will get responsibility and high quality. So it will be likely to consumed by many people. And then we are just, Japan is just next to the China. So we are easy to export products to China. So this positive cycle will change the society. Yes. And then Jeff will summarize our
Going to do project summary. From our presentation, I think we create a web platform that is provide. The first is responsibility rating, which is increasing customers' awareness to responsible product. And the second thing is that the customer ranking, which is promoting CSR, that is corporate responsibility, social responsibility mode activities to cosmetic companies. Okay, build the bridge, we make the better world by being beauty. And thank you.
So they have also the story of how this thing started, and we're gonna go with it. But first, please ask some questions or.
Users to your platform, are you going to integrate it with some other websites, or you have your own website?
There depends on countries, I think. In Japan, there's a huge market of this kind of platform. So maybe we can combine our system, our rating system, to that one. But for example, we have previous teammates from Colombia, but Colombia didn't have anything of this kind of thing. So in this case, we can develop our own stuff. So it depends on the country.
Like I said, I actually think this is a great program as well. I think that promoting like social responsibility as a consumer is something that is a linchpin sort of for our project as well. Have you mentioned that you were going to export the raw materials from Africa to Japan for manufacturing? Can you talk a little bit about why you chose that supply chain? Why not just manufacture directly in Africa and generate more local job creation?
The main concern of demand is high quality production. So we didn't have any knowledge about the manufacturing in Africa. Maybe if they provide high quality manufacturing process, I think it's possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you can hire Japanese consultants.
Actually, I know that one Japanese guy started a company of white shirts in Africa, and they have promised quality. This kind of thing. So I think it's possible.
I have a second question. Have you done market research with these the big cosmetics companies to see if there is an interest in driving more socially responsible behavior from their customers?
I can take this question.
Yeah, sure.
This is just a project of 3 weeks.
Okay.
So what you are saying is we start in 3 weeks, and we are just at the beginning.
I see.
What this can be.
Sure,
but
sure,
obviously, if we just already get some traction of this idea, maybe we can start doing the marketing research.
I
But
understand.
for example, they already once experienced a big boycott of animal testing.
Oh yeah.
So that's why they buy body shop.
Yeah.
So I think there's certain demand if we emphasize the impact of social responsibility.
I think you're right, especially with several of those brands market for like all natural ingredients. So you know that they care about the ingredients going into their products having certain qualities. So I think this is the right market to target.
And there's some this kind of natural market is limited, very limited. And most of other cosmetics product doesn't care about this natural ingredients.
Sure.
So our purpose is to provide this information for all products.
Okay.
Great, thank you so much. Stay also for the few minutes. The story, I think it's really interesting to see how they started and why they arrived to this point. And so I will let them say about the story.
So let me talk about what we did in this program, leadership program. In 3 weeks in this program, we learned new leadership skills and we put language skills by communication. So week 1, theme was empowering communication skills. We had a meeting at Harvest and we introduced each other because we met first time this day. So and we put goals, our skills, and opportunities. And we connect each goals, and we found our common goal and common interest. Common goal is language, to be a good English speaker. And common interest is business. So, workshop 2, we went to the MIT Media Lab, and we had a brainstorming to find a new business idea. And we created a new business idea that is Beauty Bridge. And workshop 3, we went to the MIT Startup Center and worked on the pitch. In this day, Colette, new mentor, and we tried to explain him. We gave a pitch to him for explaining to share our idea and our vision. Actually, we didn't know he will come, so it's quite difficult to explain our idea in short time. And pitch should be clear and should be short and should include the main points really clear. So it was quite difficult for us. And of course I did it, so it was not difficult. And what we learned from this week is collaboration for each idea by communication, and how to make a pitch for our idea, and communicating idea quickly without being prepared. When we meet new people, to give a pitch is effective way to share our idea quickly, and otherwise we will miss the opportunities. But it's sometimes happens suddenly, so we should communicate our idea quickly without being prepared. It was so important what we learned. Week 2, the theme was creating academic and professional networks. We went to the MIT and we attended Idea Global Challenge Conference. And an MIT student gave us a pitch for share their idea, and we could do the network with them. It was quite interesting for us. And workshop 5.
Okay, workshop 5, we went to one of the most famous university in the world, Harvard. And from there, we met an incredible gentleman, Samuel. And Samuel is just like us. We come from another country. And me and Tom and Samuel will share the experience, and especially Samuel telling us how to be successful. So, to be honest, Samuel's really gave a huge contribution to our presentation, so thank you. Okay, the next day, we're in Harvard, and we're studying the School of Education in Harvard. And from that time, we started to prepare our presentation. And we just maintain, just like have a brainstorming. We share our ideas with each other and try to make everything perfect. Okay, and from this week, we learned the first is to understand benefits of working together to work as a team. And second thing is that to learn how to create new connections, to create our new network. And the third thing is encourage motivation and maximize promotion. Thank you.
And third week, this is last week's class. We had a meeting at Harvest, and we brushed up our idea and we defined our idea. And we focused on preparing presentation, and we changed our presentation again and again to make it clear, really, really clear. And last workshop is yesterday. We practiced to do the presentation in front of some students in Harvest, and we got some feedback, and we changed our presentation and more clearly, and we found it is a little bit complicated, so we simplified our presentation. So what we learned from this week is flush up our idea more clearly or more simplified, and how to make our presentation more clear, and how to engage the audience. So those are all of those are what we learned and what we did. So I think we learned a lot in only these 3 weeks. So I think we think the leadership is that involve others and inspire others by collaborative communication. Thank you very much.
Wow, it's amazing. I don't know, it's amazing. Thinking about 3 weeks ago, we were just sitting, not having nothing, just sitting down and sharing our ideas, where you come from, what are your goals, what are your skills, and then putting together something and do it. I think that's great. So thank you guys. I really love working with you guys. So if you have any question, I know you guys need to go, but feel free to stay as much as you can. And if Samuel or everybody else have some question for them or for the process, or feel free to ask. I can ask too, but I will sit.
Well, I guess this obvious question is if do you see something coming out of this? Do you see working more on it now that you've gotten this far? Do you want to try and, even if it's individually, are you going to use it in some way to kind of help empower the next thing that you do? Yeah.
It did come in the idea of this kind of social responsibility from the platform.
Yeah.
Was it involved in also interested in this idea?
And I didn't know about CSR, so teach us. And at the beginning, I'm learning English here in Boston. I came here dry, so I couldn't speak at all. But I think I could learn English and by practicing, and I could learn a lot. And most important thing for me is learning by doing, because I'm typical Japanese. I want to be prepared every time. I want to prepare presentation. I want to prepare some research. But I learned from Lucio. I should learn, and I should learn. I should learn. I should do like at the same time. It is a big thing for me in this program.
And for you, Jeff?
Well, from the leadership program, really learned a lot. Just creative and work with your teammates and have different ideas and get together and get some really practical things together. And from 7 to wow, you're so confident.
Well, we are gonna give you guys 3 certificates for the program. So yeah. The first is Storm. This is for you.
It's cool for us.
Yeah. Okay. You have a picture? Do you take a picture?
I got it.
Okay. Yeah. This is for Jeff.
Can you guys move a little bit because of the light?
Here?
Yeah, from the
Okay.
projector. All right, better.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay. And the last one is for Jos.
Thank you very much. Actually, I finished my language school course today, and I got a certificate.
So you have
but it is good. Sure. Than yeah, much good.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
And thanks so much also to you guys to come over, and please for anything, if you want to stay in contact or you have some ideas you would like to share, they are going to Japan, but send them in. We're gonna exchange the email.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
And we are staying in touch also. Yeah. If you can give them, yes, if you have the business card.
I don't actually have enough. I apologize for.
Thank you very much.
Maybe you guys can share.
Oh yeah.